I never thought I'd be saying this, but how does a brand strategist not know how to brand his brand? Brand his brand? Yeah. Welcome to episode 4 of Building Ember. February and March were probably the toughest months for me just because I was settling in and building the business, and this meant all of the responsibilities that come with building a business, the legal stuff, the HR, the finance, and all of these things. You're running a business and you feel like you're drowning in responsibilities, then this video is for you. So I spoke about this in my LinkedIn post, but I'm just going to break it down here a little bit more. So number one is feeling the overwhelm of your business. Now, being a freelancer is very different to being a business owner or a founder. When you're a freelancer, you just come in, you do your work, you handle the client, you manage your payments. Very different to actually running a business because you've got a team to manage, you've got your finance, you've got your legal obligations, all of these things. They could be overwhelming. They were overwhelming for me, especially these first few months trying to set those up. Brings me to my next point, build inside of your brand. Now, so Ember was built to teach people about marketing and branding. I think everyone kind of knows that. But what happened was I started taking on these other projects to kind of sustain my business. Branding projects, logo designs, redesigning of their documents to make it look better and more on brand. So I started doing all of these things. But what happened was I started to lose sight of what Ember was originally established, created and built to do, which is teach people about marketing and branding, like I said. And I didn't have the time to do what I wanted because I was too busy doing some of these other things. This was a good experience that was at the expense of my company's vision. When you look at it like that, not that great. So I had to make the choice, chase the sales that were coming in or realign with my purpose and then build, even if it was a slower start. So I chose my brand purpose and I chose what I originally set out to do, which is why now even talking to you like this is so much more clear. That brings me to my third point, which is the content struggle. So I built content strategies for a lot of people for a long time, but when it came to my own, it was such a struggle. And I'm sure that you can, when I put this on LinkedIn, there was a few people who resonated with it as well. And it's nice to know. I won't say it's nice, but it's good to know that you're not alone. Building good content that resonates with your audience stems from your brand purpose. When you know your brand purpose, it gives you a lot of clarity in terms of your content, because your content is essentially what you're communicating with your public. You could communicate, you could put different things up, but is that the best communication? Is that the best representation of who you are? Because this sets the foundation for how people perceive you in the market as well. So for me, it was kind of nerve-wracking knowing all of that, knowing, okay, if I put this piece of content out, people might perceive me in this way, and then if I had to go back to what I originally set out to do, how would that look? And that was what was running through my head. But I had to sit down, realign myself with my brand purpose, and understand this is what I'm here to do. Even if it meant not many sales and my company growing a little slower, that was okay, because I felt I was being true to my purpose. I felt I was being true to what I was communicating, and that I was communicating exactly what I wanted to with the right intention to the right people as well. So those were the three main things, right, that I have been dealing with over these past few weeks. The overwhelm of running a business, losing sight of my brand purpose, and just struggle with content strategy and understanding what you need to communicate. I'm just sharing them because if you're feeling the same way, don't worry, you're not alone. What I did was I went back to my brand purpose, mapped it out, and looked at this little bad boy, Charmander, because I've always wanted, and when I set out Ember, it was to help people become the Charizard version of themselves, evolve from this little Charmander to this beast of a Charizard. And I always will go back to that. And if you have something like that, if you have a brand purpose that you can go back to, please go back to it. Thanks for watching. It was honestly just me, I wouldn't say ranting, but I just wanted to share this so that you can connect with it in some way if you are going through it as a founder. Have a good Tuesday. Yeah, it's a Tuesday, but have a good Tuesday. Enjoy your day. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, peace out.